History teaches us that humanity's greatest triumphs often emerge from our darkest hours. When the Black Death ravaged Europe, it didn't just end lives, it ended an era. But from those ashes arose something extraordinary, the Renaissance. Art, science, philosophy, exploration, a complete rebirth of human potential. The printing press democratized knowledge. Humanism placed people at the center of their own destiny. The scientific revolution challenged centuries of dogma. And explorers redrew the maps of possibility. Today, we stand at a similar crossroads. A blockchain technology emerged as a response to broken systems, but its journey, like all revolutions, has been turbulent. Volatility, skepticism, regulatory challenges. Yet these are not signs of failure, but the birth pangs of transformation. VeChain was born 8 years ago with a vision: to harness this revolutionary technology for real-world value. Through 3 evolutionary white papers, we've been preparing for this moment. The VeChain Renaissance isn't just an upgrade, it's a rebirth. Just as the plague shattered feudalism and sparked unprecedented progress, we're breaking the chains of outdated systems. Great revolutions are never gentle, but they always change the world. This is our Renaissance moment. This is VeChain Renaissance. Join us as we build the decentralized foundation for the next revolution.
Great bit of work, great bit of work. Well, welcome everyone. As you might have been able to tell from the aptly themed artwork there, we're introducing a series of VeChain Renaissance Live vlogs. So today we're here for the first in a series where we want to guide you what's next for VeChain 4, specifically around VeChain Renaissance, what's coming out for the protocol, and also meet some of the people that are making it happen, because we've got a whole team of people doing awesome work, and I think they deserve their time in the spotlight. So my name's Jake. Hello everybody, I'm the communications lead at VeChain. I'm here with Sunny Liu and Rosa Simeoli today to talk about the upcoming staking upgrades, specifically very thematically named Stargate. So before we actually dive into those, I'll just give you guys a brief minute to say hello, give yourself a quick intro.
Yeah, well, everybody knows about me, right? And getting very excited about the VeChain Renaissance. So, yeah, today with Rosa, with Jake, we're gonna go deep dive and get everyone to well prepared for Stargate launch and also for the future Hayabusa.
Amazing.
I'll follow. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. I am Rosa Simeoli from VeChain Product Manager, and working with Sunny and so many amazing people on the Renaissance. Good stuff coming.
Very exciting. And Rosa, maybe you could give a bit of context, because I know you've been super instrumental for building a lot of stuff at the foundation, specifically around obviously nodes and staking rewards and all kinds of stuff here. Maybe you could just give some insights as to what you worked on before we jump into the show.
Yeah, sure. So honestly, one of the reasons I'm mainly excited for this is because the first product I was assigned to when I joined VeChain was the rewards platform. So I kind of saw all the background of the X nodes, the eco nodes, building the rewards platform. And now in such a short period of time, this renaissance and rebuilding the whole ecosystem to make it better for the community is really, I get emotional if I think about it. It's great stuff. And, getting feedback from the community node holders helped me a lot during a few years in VeChain to build what's coming next.
They're a good bunch, that's for sure. All right, well, with the intros out the way, obviously there's a lot to unpack here. So I'll pass it to Sunny, the big boss, to give us a very high level on first, what is VeChain Renaissance, high level, and then of course, what is Stargate?
Yeah, sure. I mean, VeChain Renaissance is, I would say, it's the most important upgrades since day one. Considering the longevity of the VeChain, we have been running for 8 years.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been proud to say like we're one of the dino coins, but we're still building, still striving, still, let's say, working for the real value creation. So I think this year is the right momentum for everyone. The whole crypto market is going through a major shift change following the regulatory clarity revealing around the whole world, not only about the MiCA in Europe, but also US is welcoming the most friendly, crypto-friendly president ever. So I think it's the right timing to launch this VeChain Renaissance, including not only on the protocol upgrades, but also the tokenomics upgrades. So generally speaking, VeChain Renaissance has a three phase. The first one is we call Galactica phase, and the second one by end of the year, we call it Hayabusa, and then in 2026 we are going to deliver the third phase we call Interstellar. So basically, going through the three phases of VeChain Renaissance, we're gonna take everyone not to the moon only, but we're gonna definitely bypass the moon, but eventually exploring the amazing or magnificent interstellar space.
Well, the wise man once said it prefers Mars. I think it sounds like we're going past Mars.
Universe.
Amazing, amazing. All right. Well, as a prelude, before we get into the meat of the sandwich, we can just give a bit of context. So, amazing intro. Obviously, big things coming to VeChain. If you're gonna want to skip through the video, what do you need to know right now? First thing is to get yourself the VWorld Wallet. So that is the wallet we bought out within the last couple of years. Major upgrade for anyone who used VeChain Thor. You'll know the major difference. But packed with loads of great features. We've got social logins, native VBetter app tabs. We've got fiat on and off ramps, mobile desktop versions. You know, it's very flexible bit of software to basically get you using Web3 apps in a very easy, intuitive way. And then, of course, to run the node itself, you'll need VET tokens. So these are the backbone of the protocol. And we will get to exactly how all these things work. But the lowest stake is under Hayabusa is going to be just 10k VET. So just so you know, it's very accessible, but I won't bore you with details now. We'll get to that at a later date. So, Sunny, I just want to dial it back a bit. Now we've kind of got that out of the way and go into, why are we rebuilding the staking system in VeChain?
Sure. I mean, call me a really old guys, crypto, or we call it old dogs, crypto side. I've been in the crypto world for 12 years. And just remember, even in the early days, decentralization sits at the top of crypto Bibles as the core principle of any kind of crypto projects, right? But honestly, it's not flawless. The true decentralization is really hard. Give an example in POW, proof of work, like Bitcoin, the hash power from mining pools could be decentralized. The mining rig manufacturing could be decentralized, could be centralized. I'm sorry. And also in the proof of staking facing the same challenge, not only because of the capital gain, can be played, but also we call it the technical barrier. So if we goes to the next slides, let's say the decentralization. Oh, sorry, go back to the previous slide. The biggest challenge, is technical requirement, which means user needs to maintain a certain level of technical capability to participate the network security. So you have to have a certain, let's say, technical capability to run a validator. And honestly, it's really difficult to most of the people, right? Even consider, crypto fans or crypto members working in the community or playing the community for years, but still, it's quite hard. And today's solution in general in crypto world is to go through centralized staking service, and the user have to give up the control of the assets with the concerns of uncertainty and security concerns and receive the rewards from we call middlemen, right? And Critical says it's a dogma, but not panacea, but still the crypto phase sees it as non-negotiable. A first principle, let's call it a first principle for a trustless world. So we need to bring the real decentralization. So how are we going to do that, or how to address that? Then let's go to the next slide. I would say in general, VeChain Renaissance come up with a novel design of NFT staking model, which means users, even with non-technical capability, can stake that to mint a specific node NFT, which represents the assets you staked, right, in the smart contract through Stargate platform we're going to launch. And we will make sure no one has access to the smart contracts after it just starts. It means nobody can hack that. The security goes to the number one priority. And sure, when user holds the NFT, they will have that means they have the rights to unstake and retrieve the assets anytime you want, right? So that's basically the basic meaning of the staking and unstaking. And then user can use NFT. After you got the NFT, user can use NFTs to do the delegator's role without giving up the control, but participating, in the blockchain protocol directly. And the protocol rewards will go to each NFT holder automatically along with every block minted or creation over the blockchain. So simply to say, this kind of the solution will enable even normal people without higher required technical capability to participate in the network security and receive the rewards from nobody else but protocols of VeChain blockchain. And it will encourage the real inclusive participation and enable true decentralization.
It's
Right?
very cool. I mean, maybe we could just pass the mic to Rosa for a second, just on, obviously you're helping rebuild this system. Like, how does it differ to the current model, fundamentally? And how's your experience been of actually building it?
I think the main difference here is that users are not just passive node holders anymore. They actively participate in all the blockchain activity, as Sunny was saying. So we now give a role to everyone supporting VeChain by staking VET and having the NFT. They become an active part by delegating. And I think this creates, also more trust between VeChain and the holders, more collaboration. It just bonds best with our vision of, how our ecosystem needs to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And obviously there's a lot of other moving parts to the tokenomics, which we'll dive into in other videos. But the whole synergy of how the new kind of economic model works with the staking model, it's a lot more powerful and effective for the goals we want to achieve. One of those goals being, of course, economic security. So this might not be a phrase people are massively up on in the ecosystem, or what it even means. So maybe, Sunny, you could give us a high level on why is more staked better?
Yeah. So basically, that kind of NFT design is sweeping off the technical barriers, right? But also with the tokenomics upgrades, that design will motivate the community members to participate into the staking without any kind of technical barriers and or security concerns. So increasing staking rate is expected, and our plan is to make the total network staking increased by 300, even 400% as today's ratio. So more simply just say, more VAT staking, stronger network, more secure network, and more resilient platform to or for higher valuation, right? So if we look at estimated rewards, let's say the tokenomics upgrade, let's say simply to say the tokenomics upgrade will concentrate the protocol rewards to the stakers. So that means highest the stakers rewards, which will be dynamic based on the network situation after the Hayabusa launched. But let's say, well, simply to say, the by estimation, the let's say protocol rewards, it could be up to 20, even 30%, more than 30%, and per year. I mean, the rewards also, even the lowest staking, coming from the lowest staking, also will be relatively quite attractive. And that's let's say kind of financial motivation for high ratio of staking and security of networks.
Great. And obviously we have to add the disclaimer, numbers depend on market conditions and forces outside of VeChain's control, but as a projection and an estimate, of course, it's a
Yeah,
vastly...
we can play the slide one more time, and then I'm sure people can take a screenshot.
There's some numbers in there somewhere. Oh,
yeah. That's by estimation. That's really by the estimation. Yeah, and also the target is to go to 30, 40 billion staking as a total whole. As comparing with today, even including the soft lockup like X node and the economic node, total is just about 10 billion, and our target is to make it 40 billion that staking, and then it's 4 times, 3 times, 4 times as today's ratio. So
and it's worth, obviously even the VTHO generation, all these kinds of things are tied to VET staking as well. So it's a very dynamic new tokenomic model that's all about empowering. The more participation, the greater the outcome for everyone. Essentially, TLDR. Amazing. All right. Well,
I will have to say, Stargate will launch in early July, probably July 1st.
Yes.
And also our we call Hayabusa Bootstrapping Incentive Program, let's call it HBIP, right? We'll start from day one. But let's say we shouldn't wait until July. Don't wait until July. The action is better to be now. Why is that? Let's take a look at the roadmap and also the progress first. So following the so here's a roadmap. So following the delivery roadmap, we just finished the Galactica VIP's approval and also the Galactica testnet. Right, so it's already alive, so everybody can test it. A Web3 partner, exchange partner, they're testing on the Galactica. And also July 1st, we're going to launch the Stargate as today's main focus as an introduction to allow people to mint or swap to get the new delegator NFTs and, enjoy the Hayabusa bootstrapping incentive programs. And also looking forward the future, in September, we're going to have, Hayabusa testnet launch following the Hayabusa VIP's approval from the entire community. And also by December, it will be the Hayabusa mainnet launch, and then switching to the real decentralized networks with higher rewards to every participants.
And another call to action, just to add on there, Sunny, but obviously right now we're 2 months out from the 1st of July Stargate launch. Of course, users who want to upgrade their nodes, currently there is a time lag, but once the Stargate program launches and the new node infrastructure is in place, X node, for instance, there will be no more upgrades. So it's important to, if you plan to upgrade now, basically get that upgrade in before the new economic model essentially is put into action.
Exactly. Like Rosa just introduced, when she joined VeChain, the first project is about VeChain Rewards, right? As a existing node management platform. So yeah, let's take a look. Like if you are a current node holder as a VeChain Rewards, then what you're gonna do. So basically, the VeChain, let's say the VeChain Rewards can be accessed through the website like app.rewards.vechain.org. So basically, here's a demo. So you can go there, connect it to your wallet, and then if you doesn't have any node, you can go to the marketplace to buy X node, to check all of the list of the X node and to pay by VET to get the X node. And be careful, you got to make sure you have enough VET in your wallet as today's situation. So yeah, you go to the place and buy the X node, and then you already get the X node. And if we goes to the next video, then it's about like you can still upgrade. So again, connect it to your wallet, and then find your node in your wallet and click on the manage the upgrades or manage the nodes, and then you can do the upgrades, right? So
Very slick.
by doing that, then you still, let's say, able to upgrade your current X node or economy node. Then let's say before the so there will be some of the notification to everyone on the launch, at the launch of Stargate, let's say on July 1st. You will not be able to upgrade your nodes anymore, but any upgrades already in the progress will let you finish. But at the end of, let's say, roughly at the September, when all of the nodes upgrades finished, we will be, let's say, phase out the current VeChain rewards, and then everybody will switch to the new platform as a Stargate. And don't worry, even before the Stargate launch, we're going to have episode 2 to introduce all of the details about the Stargate operations from the user perspective.
Yeah, I would like to say to everyone, don't panic. We'll show you how Stargate works and every step you need to take to migrate your node. So everything is going to be part of our episodes here.
Yeah.
And something we've kind of left out, sorry, just obviously the incentive, right? So we've got this early bird program. Sunny, I don't know if you want to touch on that, but like, why would you rush to get involved at the launch?
Yeah, you're right. Because of the heat BIP, Hayabusa Bootstrapping Incentive Program start at the Stargate launch on July 1st. So that means you get your nodes ready, and then you will enjoy the incentive from day one. We already launched the announcement about the Hayabusa Bootstrapping Incentive Program, and every tier of you can go to the the VeChain official account on the X, find the article. You can find the real like confirmed incentive for that 6 months. By the different tiers of the nodes. But let's say right now, if we look at the current X nodes, so we already have 4 levels of the X nodes, and totally we got around 1,900, 2,000 X node holders already. And X node is a permanent program. I just wanted to remind everyone, start from March 2018, so 7 years ago. Amazing. And we like to continue to keep it that way as a permanent definition. So after the even after the Stargate launch, it's still maintained as a permanent program. And X nodes can be less, but no more in any time in along the journey. So that means all of the current X node NFT will be eligible to swap to new X node NFT right after in the Stargate platform without any maturity time required. So that's about the X node. So that means if you want to upgrade your X node, you better do it now because it takes time, right? Different levels of different nodes upgrades, it takes time. So if we move to the next, the eco node. So around 1,300 holders for EcoNode in the current 3 levels of EcoNode holders. And by the way, when Stargate launches, there will be 3 more new tiers of EcoNodes available with lower staking requirement. And Rosa will introduce a little bit later. So like X nodes, the current EcoNode holders also can swap the current NFTs to get the new and same level of EcoNode NFTs immediately. No maturity time. If you already have the current X node, you just need to swap, right, in Stargate platform. But at the Stargate launch, if user, let's say, doesn't have a node yet, you want to mint the new EcoNode, then, following the different tiers of node or staking, you have a different type of maturity time. Like the strength node are going to take 30 days, a thunder node are going to take 45 days, a Mino node are going to take 60 days. So, and also each tier of EcoNode NFT has a limited supply at, after Stargate launch. So that means Strength node has 2,500 as maximum, standard node is 300, minion node as 100. So by Stargate launch, users can mint any tiers of EcoNode, right, with a certain amount of VT staking, will require a certain days of maturity time. So that means prepare now. If you want to upgrade your nodes, you do the action now. Then you don't want to miss single day rewards at the Stargate launch.
Amazing stuff. And I believe we've got a pretty cool little demo, actually. We've been built by a team, Redino, if I'm not mistaken. They've got a calculator, although, yeah, Maestro on the keyboard, doing a great job. Yeah, so we've got this Redino vet kind of calculator, essentially. What is that exactly? Maybe Rosa. Sonny, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, well, I can do this one. Actually, we have two simulators. So let me do this one, and then Rosa will do the next one. Okay. Yeah, we got Redino. Actually, it's a very funny name. Redino means real decentralization nodes. And they do have a small dino, like dinosaur as a mascot. I really like that. It's very interesting. So Redino basically is a simulator. They launched the simulator. Yeah, you go to the simulator tab, and you can see all of the basic information you need, and also by convenience, for users' convenience, they also provide the links to articles like VeChain Renaissance, or even for the recent incentive programs. And then in the Redino, you can calculate, you can, let's say, run a simulation. Like if you are holding let's say a certain amount of VETs, for example, right now they're putting like 68 million, yeah, as a whole. Give the direct impression like how much you can get as a rewards. So basically, you can based on how much you have, and then how many X node you have, then they will give you the simulation, like how do you maximize your allocations. So basically that acting as, yeah, you can change the different type of rewards, a different configuration of your current X node holds, and just run the simulation to see how much you can get. But there are some conditions. Firstly, they assume the validator only run 25 million as today, like as a minimum, right? And also, let's say it kind of simulates the future staking for after the Hayabusa launch. So the Redino simulator is from the user perspective. If you're the user, you get that, and how much you can get rewards, and also you can change the total staking just by moving the bars here. Oh, if we back to the minimum as 2.5 billion, or if we move to 10 billion, 20 billion, or maximum 28 billion from the Redino simulators. Again, they run the minimum as 25 million each in the validator, and then the rest is coming from the delegator. So after you finish the setting, like you projecting like how much total staking in VET, and you can see around 12% for the validators, almost 10% as a MinoX node. Even the smallest node has roughly 2% or 2-3%. But again, this is by estimation, right? And I'm sure also Redino going to continue to iterate. Actually, yesterday or a couple of days ago, they just launched the Chinese version. The community team are actually coming from Taiwan, Southeast Asia, or Singapore. They are also wanted to activate the Mandarin community, getting more Mandarin supporters and community members come to join the VeChain Renaissance as well.
Amazing. I mean, that's very comprehensive. That's quite an impressive instrument. Well done, Team Redino. We talked a lot about the economic and X nodes there, of course, though, but alternate scenario. What if you're not a node holder right now? Now, I know Rosa's been working very hard on this new infrastructure, so I'll pass the mic to you here, Rosa. But if they're not a current Xnode holder, Xnode or economic node holder, what can they do? What can they expect? What's coming for these guys?
Well, my question is, why are you not yet a node holder? You need to rush. One. But I guess the most of the answers to this question would be, well, you need just so much vet to get one node. So this is why the VeChain Renaissance can also be seen as a new era for economic nodes, because we want to make eco nodes more accessible. So the Renaissance completely upgrades and revamps the concept of economic nodes. And the goal is making the staking and the ownership more accessible and decentralized, as Sunny was saying before. That's why we wanted to lower entry thresholds. So previously, owning an eco node required a staking amount of minimum, if I'm not wrong, 1 million VET for a strength node. While now, the new structure introduces the lowest tier eco node, which is way more affordable with 10,000 VET required. And to remember, to forget is that eco nodes now generate rewards again. In the old rewards platform, eco nodes were only used to vote in the governance during the last years. Well, now economic node tiers, so old eco nodes and present new eco nodes will all generate rewards again. And I want to remind everyone that one important thing that it's going to change, of course, benefiting, so anyone can benefit from it, is that users can now hold multiple nodes per one account.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have to say, if you don't have enough VET to buy a strength, but you want to use all the VET you have in nodes or a higher amount, respect to the tiers that are there, nothing stops you from having 2 nodes, 3 nodes, endless nodes. Anyone can choose how to manage their VET and how to participate in the network. There's a big difference that I think will impact a lot how users will feel regarding staking the VET and managing their portfolio, but also participating in the staking.
Yeah, that's an important note. Sorry to interject. I just think a useful sequitur. Obviously, we haven't touched on it, but the amount of VET staked in the node NFTs now is a hard cap, right? So maybe you can expand on that. Finite limit.
Yep. It is a hard cap, as you're saying. So as an example, if I want to buy a DAN node, I need to stake 10,000 VET, not 1 VET less, not 1 VET more. The cap that I need to stake is fixed. That's why we introduced the possibility of owning multiple nodes. So you can, kind of do a workaround here and buy multiple nodes of different caps.
I also just wanted to remind everyone, after the Hayabusa launch, that means if you are just passive holder, there will be no more rewards. So the idea is to incentivize everyone to participate in the network security and guarantee the stake ratio for the security of the entire networks, and then you get rewards. So it's a typical play to earn, stake to earn, that kind of model.
Yeah, that's correct. I think it brings us back to what we were saying before, that NFT holders are now active participants of what we're building rather than passive holders. And to expand this to everyone, we decided to opt for 3 new node tiers. DAN node, which can be seen as the most accessible option, I'd say, ideal for new participants who might be new to blockchain, might be new to VeChain, might not be very familiar with all the ecosystem. They can still enter Stargate and the staking protocol. Then we have Lightning with 50k VET required for staking. This can be seen as ideal for moderate holders holders who, want little stronger returns, so little higher rewards, but, want to start having a say in the game. And then the last one we came up with is Flash with 200K vet staking requirement. And this, has little higher rewards among the new nodes for stakers who are a little more serious. And another good thing we can observe, I think, that is important is the maturity days being very low for the new entry level nodes. This allows users who actually minted on Lightning and Flash to start generating rewards straight away. Wait only 2 days to start generating rewards, or 5 or 15. That's a big
Pretty good.
improvement we're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now,
Very cool.
I think let's show the second.
Yeah, leads on nicely. So where can users go to estimate their rewards, Rosa?
Okay, where can users go? VeChain stats. I know VeChain stats.
VeChain stats. We love you.
Course, many
Yeah.
tools.
They're
We-
legend.
We all love VeChain stats, and here we have both a standard and advanced backed staking calculator. You can, again, as Redino, simulate the total vet staked inside the protocol to figure out what your potential rewards could be. You can select your node. Let's start with a standard view. As an example, a new Flash node. As you see, the cap is hard. You cannot change it on the right. Click on estimate rewards, and it will give you an estimation of the base rewards and of the node rewards. I think I'll need my glasses, as Sunny, you were right. I mean, they can see
Absolutely.
APY, monthly, yearly. On the advanced view, they can actually simulate having multiple nodes. So in case you're curious and you want to mess around, and dream, I want to have 10 nodes tomorrow, go ahead, use the advanced version. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, and also I would say VeChain stats I also tried as well. I mean, as a simulator, one of the advanced feature is you can calculate average, like as a whole. You might get 1x node, 2 equal node, and even you run a validator together. I think it's a little bit like professional views or professional tools, especially for institutional investors. Actually, we got a couple of institutional investors already asked that kind of question. Like, I don't want to only run a validator, right? Firstly, they can play. They can, starting from the Hayabusa phase, they can put the 25 million as minimum. They can put the 50 million, 100 million, even up to 600 million as you wish, right? But also they got like, okay, why don't we just play a combination of my asset allocation? So then you can go to the VeChain stats, to choose like, okay, I stake 30 million in the validator and I still have 10, 15 million, with a couple of the X nodes, how much I can get as a whole, as a total investment, which will be good for the future institutional investors, or even, let's say, some exchanges or custodian service providers. They can provide like yield products through the platform. So imagine if you are the crypto.com user, you already got that into the crypto.com deposit, but you can choose a different type of crypto earn products and, still earning the income. So earning the rewards by participating the protocol indirectly.
Amazing. As only foreshadowing there, obviously I'll be working on a bunch of releases coming up about some interesting new partners that are coming on board. Obviously, want to take part in the real world revolution, so no place better to be than with VeChain and what we're working on. Yeah. Amazing, guys. Amazing. So what's next?
Yeah, well, I would say, if you wanted to secure your delegator opportunity to be part of the real decentralization platform and even contributing to build the real decentralization platform, secure the platform as VeChain, you gotta, if you want to get to the higher rewards from not only from the Hayabusa phase, but also from the Bootstrapping incentive program, share the 5.3 billion VSOR as a subsidized from the VeChain Foundation directly. And, you got to action now.
And that subsidized number is, I think, 5.48 billion VTHO, right, Sonny? I don't think we
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
that yet.
5.3 or 5.4. Yeah.
That's a lot of VTHO. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so big numbers. Get involved, guys. You know what to do. Actually, we have one final slide, possibly, maybe, the starter pack. Essentially what I said at the start. Get the VWorld Wallet. Be prepared. Oh, look at that. Professional in the background. So get your VWorld Wallet. Obviously, VET tokens, we're everywhere. There's more coming. I won't foreshadow too much, but more exchanges, obviously. VET is anywhere and everywhere. Get prepared for the most radical upgrade to ever come to VeChain 4. Anyone who's been around a long time, I know there's a lot of OGs out there, this is pretty monumental. I myself have been around the whole time. This is pretty, eyes wide open for what's next. So really, really cool stuff, guys. But I think that brings us to the end of our presentation, our first VeChain Renaissance Live session. Not the last, definitely not the last. We'll be deep diving. We'll have more teams. More team members to meet. We'll have more juicy information to dish up. But yeah, guys, key message, guys and girls, sorry.
Yeah.
Key message here being Stargate's coming, July 1st. You've got 60 days to prepare your nodes if they exist now. Get the upgrades rolling if you want to. And then, of course, getting the nodes ready in preparation for what comes next. To take part in the early bird staking program and to take advantage of those massively boosted rewards that's going to launch on July 1st. So final words from our expert panels here. I'll pass it to Sonny first.
Real decentralization for mass adoption. That's our goal, right? Mass adoption, mass adoption, mass adoption. And I think the whole market is looking for real utility creation. That's all VeChain about. So let's go.
Absolutely. And I think it's very thematic with our kind of X to earn approach of how we're building dApps and sustainability applications. Do earn benefit. Like, you take the steps to benefit and you will get the rewards. It's a no bullshit approach, as Sonny likes to say. That might be bleeped out, but I think very pragmatic way. It's your data, get rewarded for it. Rosa, any final words from you?
Well, final words is come and join us. I mean, our goal is that to have our whole community to become an active architects of VeChain's future. So we're building, join us and participate with us in, building what's ahead. And I can guarantee what's ahead will be exciting.
Lovely words. Amazing stuff, guys. Well, appreciate both your time today, obviously. Really great session. First of multiple.
Thanks.
Yeah, and see you guys in episode 2.
See you in episode 2.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.